All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new YouTube video. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can run Instagram shoutouts for your coaching business so you can get more traffic, more leads, more opportunity, and basically grow your following and grow your brand. And in this video, we're going to be installing 3 core components. And I'm also going to show you real examples, real amounts you pay to pages, how everything works from A to Z. And if you're a beginner or advanced with this is going to be more video tailored for beginners that are looking to get into the game. If you're advanced, I'm confident you can learn a thing or two from this video, but this is basically going to be a guide on how you can go about entering the space, what I recommend, and just a full breakdown on it. So with that being said, let's dive into it. So we're going to be covering 3 things. First, we're going to be covering the shoutout logistics. Then we're going to be talking about the shoutout creatives and then also the shoutout schedule. So to begin with the logistics, the only systems that we use and you need to run shoutouts efficiently is a tracker that I have for you right here, as well as a Slack channel where you can communicate, what the shoutout person is going to be organizing, when it's going to go live for, the content and sales team. You're going to be needing 3 things for this. So basically, you're going to have to get the shoutout tracker. So if you click here, I'm going to be putting this in the description. You can basically see the outline that, there we go, we have right here. So page title, page link, day followers, all the data that we basically track. Second thing is basically the shoutout schedule creation. I'm going to be talking about that too. And then also the Slack channel rundown, which this one I'm actually going to dismiss. Going to be talking about these 2 right here. And just a general overview before I show some examples and some visuals, I recommend it if you're just starting with shoutouts to use week 1 or month 1, depending upon how quickly you can test and what kind of a person you are working with, right? That you use 5 to 10 different shoutout creatives, and we basically track followers and inbound DMs. And those are the 2 biggest things. Then, of course, our cost per call. And the only way you can track that is if you have custom keywords that you use, right? Otherwise, you're going to be confusing shoutout leads with organic story leads or IG feed leads. And you want to make sure that if you're tracking, you have a separate keyword, right? Which for us is remote. And then we got skill for our organic. So that's like how we divvy it up. Now, the shoutout creatives, I'm going to be diving into that in just a little bit here, but the main thing you want to look at with shoutout creatives is the one which gets saved the most on pages. So your own page in this case, along with high engagement being the second key factor, is the one you want to scale in month 2. Sorry, I confused myself. This is the one that is on the shoutout page. Those are the winners. Now, I recommended you start with a 5K shoutout test spend. So in month 2, you can raise it to, let's say, 10K and double down on the winners. All right. So I'm going to be showing you some examples right now. So this is basically what a filled out shoutout tracker looks like. So again, you got the page title right here. You got the number of posts, the amount you're paying, the cost per post, how many posts you got left. And basically, before every new month begins, my shoutout person will prep all these shoutouts, and then basically I just pay it, and then it gets run on the pages. Now I'm also going to be showing you a shoutout and examples. All right, so basically what we do with shoutouts and the way we determine which ones to run is first by going through a test phase, right? And what we do is we basically grab our best performing pieces. So, if it goes above our average engagement, then we'll basically go ahead, select 3 to 5, 10 creatives that are above our average engagement baseline, the ones that get the most comments, and you can basically see everything in insights. So in short, we basically grab 3 to 5 to 10 shoutout creatives. Then we'll go ahead and we'll test on 3 pages. And what we basically do is, this is actually our post right here. We'll make sure that the thumbnail right here fits into the page, the theme of the page. Then from there, it basically goes into the story. And then we basically make a point with the story. And then from there, we have 2 call to actions. So number 1 is follow boss slot, and then DM me the word remote. And I'll show you how you can make 4 to 8K per month with appointment setting, right? So there's 2 CTAs here. So one tip that even I can give to advanced people that really helps us a lot is really making sure that besides the follow CTA, you also have a DM CTA, and you're going to be benefiting massively from this, right? So that's how we go about the process. So first, again, just make sure you got like, a baseline following. You have 3 to 5 to 10 shadow creatives you can test across a couple of pages. And then from there, you can go ahead and, skill the shoutouts after you get the results, right? Hey guys, if you want a full-blown course on Instagram shoutouts, this is just like gonna be a new video that I'm recording on it just to give you the latest updates. But I got one right here called Instagram Shoutout Blueprint. You can just go to this one, and from there you can go ahead and watch the video. And there's multiple videos here that can be very helpful. So that's the shoutout logistics. Now, the second one is the creatives, and we very briefly talked about that, but I gotta tell you that we do our shoutouts unlike any other IG marketing agency. Freelancers or really anyone who runs shoutout in this space, because you got 2 types of shoutouts that you can run, right? So you got generic shoutouts that will attract a low quality following because people are following the page for the general motivation or the general thread that you posted on the team page that drove you followers. And you have brand specific shoutouts that'll attract a high quality following. So though the engagement is quite average here, we're building a real brand because we're talking about the 9 to 5. This is with my name, talking about appointment setting, and people are giving me an intentional follow, which is way more valuable than a generic shout out. Because then when people come onto your page and they see your real evergreen content, the likelihood of them dropping off and not engaging with your content is very, very high. And then you build up this following that doesn't engage with you. And then from there, like, your organic never really works to the level that it could. Okay, so that is a little bit about the creatives and the testing process. Now, look, I strongly recommend that you run brand specific shoutouts. How? So look, if you don't have a following, I recommend that you grow your first 2,500, 5,000 followers with generic shoutouts, and then you can use your organic profile as an A/B, so just split testing platform, right? Where you can basically post organic content, get leads, and then with like 9 to 18 pieces, you can go ahead, grab some creatives, put them on the pages, and send traffic to your page, right? Because you're working with leverage here. And that's the great thing about like shoutouts. And it's also important that you make sure you follow a specific content team on your page. For example, we switch chronologically between threads, reels, and tweets. Okay. And as I mentioned, you take the best performing content pieces as test pieces for shoutouts. Then, and with this, you'll be able to grow your brand with more brand specific driven shoutouts. Now, this is a little bit harder. At the end of the day, like, the process is simple, but again, making quality content in this day and age is quite a challenge, right? So you want to make sure that, I recommend if you're a business owner, you work with a good content creator, or you could learn yourself. I mean, you're paying a price with either one, right? Like with a content creator, you accelerate time and they can make good posts for you and you can find winners faster. If you learn it yourself, it takes time because it's a learning curve, right? Now, this is how you build a real brand and momentum that compounds, as opposed to a generic page that no one really remembers, or also builds on top of that zero momentum. So if I had to like show you an example of a generic shout out, I'm gonna find one here right now for you. So I know this guy's killing it. He's spending a lot on shoutouts, but this is a generic one, right? But it speaks to a large audience. And I've seen this one come by like so often now. And this is, again, an example of a generic shoutout. So that's pretty much what that looks like. And then you've got more, again, brand specific ones. This one, for example, this guy killed it, where it's the same thing and the same principle, right? So that is Shoutout Creatives and like some very important context if you're looking to get into the game and how that works, all right? Now, creating your shoutout schedule. So the way you want to look at your shoutout schedule is looking at shoutouts as fuel onto your calendar for booked sales calls, right? So the ideal scenario on a weekly basis is that you've got shoutouts throughout the entire week, but with gaps. And that's how we do it. So our schedule is Monday, we do shoutouts. Wednesday, we do shoutouts. Friday, we do shoutouts. And then on each of these days, we'll launch 50 to 100 shoutouts at the same time. 9:30 to 11 a.m. EST is perfect and prime time. That's when most business owners run their shoutouts and have awareness on like the time impacting the results. And again, we only do this with pages we've vetted and tested along with our winner shoutout creatives. This for us results in 2 to 4K follower growth per shoutout day, along with 300, 500 inbound DMs, as well as email opt-ins plus booked calls that we get. Okay. And then after you've solidified a schedule based on an optimal cadence for the week itself, so cadence being Monday, Wednesday, Friday, could be Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, right? Determine that for yourself. Share it on Slack with your team. So your organic content team and your sales team, more specifically the appointment setters, are aware of when the post goes live, so they know when to be ready when the leads, are coming in from the IG shoutouts. So for myself, I always make sure that 30 minutes before all shoutouts go live, that the IG feed content plus CTA is ready. So I post an IG feed piece that has the CTA, the IG story with the CTA is ready too, and the setters are ready. And then that way we make the most of the lead flow coming our way. So that's how you can run Instagram shoutouts. So in short, build up your following to at least 2.5 to 5K followers, right? You can just do this with generic shoutouts as I showed you an example of, right? This video is not to teach you how to make that shoutout. That's the hard part. It's what you got to figure out. It's what almost no one teaches you, because when they find a winner, they're going to run the heck out of it until it doesn't work anymore, okay? So do that first if you don't really have a following. Then the second thing is that you start posting organic content, right? And then you want to make sure that you find organic content pieces that work well for you. So this one we're most likely going to run as an ad too. And then from there, you can, gather 3 to 5 or 10 of these pieces over 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 posts, right? Takes some time. And then from there, you run them on shoutout pages. And what you want to aim for with results is $1 to $2 CPF. The lower, the better. Making sure you got a CTA here and a CTA and a shoutout. Run it on 3 pages to begin with. And then if the metrics are looking good, then you can go ahead and scale to 5 or 10 or 20, 30, 40, 50 shoutouts per day. And then from there, you'll have a great traffic driver. So that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As I said, if you want a full course on this, then make sure you go ahead and you join the community. The link is in the description. We don't just teach you the shoutouts, because again, the setters are a very big part of this. We got scaling with setters, organic marketing, the whole thing is here. So guys, if you want to check it out, then feel free to. It's free. And then I hope this video was of value to you. Thank you for checking it out.